me exactly 1.5 years to reach my first goal of $10,000. And the goal of this video is to help you reach that $10,000 per month mark in the shortest and the easiest way possible, so that you also don't end up wasting years and years to reach this stage. So what I have done in this video is basically divided the video into four different parts, and the first three parts are technically the steps that you need to exactly follow to reach your first $10,000. And the fourth stage is basically what your road will look like once you cross that $10,000 mark. And for the sake of clarity, I have used the business model. The business model that we would be talking about is going to be a marketing agency, or technically a remote marketing agency to be precise. Now, like, you might be thinking कि बाकी इतने सारी चीज़ें, इतने सारे ऑनलाइन बिजनेस मॉडल्स हैं that can help me reach $10,000 mark, Akash, then why are you just focusing on marketing agency? So let me be very, very clear. I started my journey back in 2017, and like since then I have tested drop shipping, Amazon, crypto marketing, freelancing, trading, you name it. I have done everything. And I can tell you one thing for sure, like now when I compare, I can tell you for sure ki marketing agency is one of the easiest ways. I'm not saying it is the only way that can help you reach, but it is one of the easiest ways, and it is one of those business models which has the least barrier to entry. Why? Because आप drop shipping ले लो, आप crypto trading ले लो, आप कोई भी और ये online business models ले लो, in those you need some or the other sort of investment before you can even get started. But when it comes to starting an agency, you technically need nothing. It's just your effort and your time. And if you see, when you're starting out, your efforts and your time are technically not so valued, so you can invest them infinitely more. So that is why, for the sake of explaining you, and just for the ease that everyone and anyone can get started with this, I am going to explain you with the help of a marketing agency. And moreover, I also happen to run a marketing agency at this point. So moreover, I can give you the insights that are actually right in the industry, or which are currently prevailing in the industry. So with that said, again, the goal is how you can reach your first $10,000 per month mark. So now the three steps that we are going to follow are basically, the first is the niche and offer. This is the first step. We are going to clear out what your niche would be and what your offer would look like. In the second step, we are going to see how you can, or why you basically need to build systems. So that would be something like system building. And the third stage, or the third step, would be, it might look fancy, and I didn't have any better word, so for the sake of that, I am using the statement. The third step would be how you can remove yourself from the business. And I could have used basically automation over here, but that just sounded something too fancy, and not exactly we are going to automate things, though we would be using automations and all, but it won't be 100% automation. So that is why I didn't want to confuse you guys. So isliye I have used remove yourself from the business. So let's start with the first thing, which is the niche and offer. So Abhi, what I have done is I have written down few things over here with me, so that I don't forget anything before, while explaining to you. So सबसे पहले, when it comes to niche, whenever you are, or if you plan to start your agency, the first thing that you would be needing is having a very, very clear niche. And moreover, if you are having a remote 3.0 agency, or you are planning to start your remote 3.0 agency, that I'm going to explain, that I am explaining over here, you would need a rock solid niche clear from the get-go. Now, if you are or if you are planning to go with something very general, I'm going to serve the e-commerce market, I'm going to serve doctors. Now, these are freaking huge niches. Why? Under e-commerce, you see like there are so many things that can come. There are like skincare brands, there are fashion labels, there are like home decor products, you name it. E-commerce, a niche consists of like million different sub micro niches, right? And when it comes to, let's say, doctors, now doctors again is a very huge niche. Now under doctors there might be dentists, there might be psychiatrists, there might be surgeons, you name it. There are so many different kinds of doctors. So you need to, like, again, the goal is to find that one niche that you are going to serve. But like before I dive into what is the criteria for finding your niche, I just want to tell you, like, first of all, what is actually a niche. So niche is big because बहुत लोग, like, if you see on YouTube, every freaking one is talking about find your niche, go like do this to find your niche. But what is niche in the first place? So just for the sake of simplicity, niche is nothing but a group of people who have a very specific problem which you are going to solve with your offer. That is all. That is all. Niche is a group of people who are having a specific problem that you are going to solve. Now, when it comes to niche, under niche, or when you are selecting your niche, there are few criterias that might help you figure out if your niche is like going to be effective or is it going to be profitable for you in the long run. Now obviously, like yes, what is the problem that okay, when it comes to niche, you need to answer these three things. Number one, what is the problem of that niche that you're addressing? Number two, what is the urgency that this niche has? And thirdly, we have what is the desire they have. Now, basically, these two are nothing but ratings that you need to give out of 10. What I mean basically when it comes to urgency, आपके niche के लिए या फिर जो भी आपका niche आप select कर रहे हो, आपके niche के लिए वो problem solve करना कितना urgent है. That is, and any number which is more and more close to 10, that is going to help you find a much more targeted niche, a much more like effective niche. So you can fill it out over here, and like obviously once you have the problem, then only you can decide the urgency of that problem that your niche needs to solve. And then, is it even desirable for them? Because there are times, there are things that the market probably needs to some or the other extent, but they are not heavily desired. बहुत ज़्यादा लोगों को चाहिए नहीं, but चाहिए. I hope you understand this. कि there are several things. Let's say now in the space of doctors, if you pick up doctors, you can probably go to doctors and tell them that I am going to build you a great website. Is it something which is urgently needed? Number one, out of 10, how, like, what will you rate? I would technically rate it 5. Doctors don't exactly need a website. And let's say on a scale of 10, when it comes to desire, how much do you think they would be genuinely desiring getting a website? Because they know कि हाँ website चाहिए तो, but is it too important, या फिर I am craving for one if I am a doctor? No. So let's say out of 10, I would have 6.5. That is what my desire rate would be. So you want to find something which is more and more desired. Now, again, let's take the example of doctors only. You're serving probably dentists, and dentists need leads. They need more and more people to show up at their clinic to get their service, right? To go for the treatments, to go for teeth whitening or whatsoever. Now, when it comes to urgency, now let's say the problem that you are solving is getting dentist more clients. Do you think this problem that you are solving is desired by the dentist? Yes, of course. They would like, so when it comes to rating that based on like the problem, the urgency would be probably 9.5. Is it something that dentists genuinely desire? Yes, they definitely need. Who doesn't need more business? They desire that. So it would be 9.5, 9.5, 10 in fact. Who doesn't want business? And like, if you are able to answer like along these three lines, then you would probably have a much better, clearer picture of your niche. Okay. Now, when it comes to the offer part, like offer also have three different criterias that you need to keep in mind while designing your offer. And it would be the first one, I'm sure everyone knows that already, is the message. The first one is the message that you are having, your offer message. The second is the model that you are using. Now, I'm going to explain you that just a second. And third is again the resonance. Now, what are these three things or these three criterias? Basically, आपने कोई भी ऑफर बनाया, that offers message, is it effective? That is the number one thing that you need to look. Again, based on that message that you have created, you need to first see what does that message or that message fits into which model. Now, this might look a bit confusing over here for a minute because model kya hai? So, if you are starting an agency, let me just fill it out for you. You are going to follow the model of DFY. The DFY stands for done for you. This is the easiest model for anyone to start. What is a done for you model? Done for you model is basically where you go to the client and you tell the client that I am going to do everything for you. So, and like this is the most loved model by everyone. कोई अगर आपको आकर बोलता है कि आकाश, let's say I am going to give you or I am going to do this for you from scratch, from A to Z, everything, you just need to pay me. You just need to pay me, give me a monthly retainer, and I'll do everything for you. I'll get the business, I'll call them probably, and set appointments for you. So, this is falling under the umbrella of DFY, the done for you business model. Now, when you are starting your agency, you have to have a done for you business model. Now, obviously, if you're following a done for you business model, then make sure your message also resonates or your message also follows along those lines. Something, your message could be something like, taking again the example of that dentist, you can have an offer message saying, we will get you 30 to 60 new clients every single month which are closed and ready to pay or who have booked appointments with you. Now, if you see in this case, we are telling the dentist that we are going to get them like 30 to 60 new clients, and we are not telling them we are going to get them leads. We are telling them we are going to get you clients. It is not something that your receptionist needs to convert or your sales team needs to convert. We are going to convert them into clients, and we are like who have all like even booked an appointment with you. We are going to get you those 30 to 60 clients. So if you see, इस केस में डेंटिस्ट को कुछ नहीं करना है, राइट? इस केस में डेंटिस्ट को कुछ नहीं करना है, डेंटिस्ट जस्ट हैज टू पे यू मंथली रिटेनर्स and like obviously the ad spend and all. But uske alawa, dentist doesn't have to move a finger, lift a finger. So this is the easiest and the best model that you can follow. And again, message should be aligning with this. It shouldn't be something like we will help you set up your client acquisition system for dentist. This is not a done for you technically. Why? I am just helping dentist to set his client acquisition system. So he needs to run those systems. He needs to get leads. He needs to get data. He needs to close leads. He needs to book up, get appointments booked. Everything like uske end pe, dentist ke end pe काफी ज़्यादा काम पड़ गया, right? So like that is why this won't be resonating with this model, the message. So you need to make sure the message resonates with the model. And lastly is the resonance. How much is your message resonating with this niche. डेंटिस्ट के साथ ये कितना रेजोनेट कर भी रहा है या नहीं. So again, this is a rating based thing. You need to decide out of 10 how much is your message resonating, or technically your offer, how much is your offer resonating with the niche. So for example, if let's say you tell dentist, I am going to mm, make you a website which is going to get you 1000 emails or email leads every day. Probably this is not exactly resonating. Obviously, people might be thinking email marketing kar sakte hain, ye wo, but again, the point is this is not heavily resonating with the niche. So we want something which exactly resonates with the niche. That I will get you 30 to 60, again taking the old example of the message, I'm going to get you 30 to 60 new clients every single month who are willing to come to, like, who have booked an appointment and are waiting to come to your clinic. Now that is something dentist is going to resonate with to a great extent. So such a message would be a 9.5 out of 10 probably, right? So these two things, if you sort, I'm telling you, and this is the first thing that I tell to any new agency owner who is getting started, or anyone basically who is starting an agency. This is the first thing I ever tell anyone. If you want to start the agency, the first thing you need to figure out your niche, your offer. अगर ये दो चीजें clear हैं, boss, you are ready to basically tackle every possible obstacle जो भी तुम्हारी एजेंसी में आने वाली है. Because again, if you are clear cut on these two things, you know who you are addressing and what you are addressing them with. So yeah. Now, if you see, there is one more angle which I want to, or I would love to explain you in terms of offer, which is this कि कई बार हम लोग ये बहुत ज़्यादा मेजर मिस्टेक करते हैं. वो ये करते हैं कि we try to build our offer in a manner which is समथिंग लाइक टू कॉम्प्लेक्स. बहुत ज़्यादा जितना हम कॉम्प्लेक्स कर सकते हैं हम उसमें इतनी सारी चीज़ें डाल देंगे, हम उसमें इतने सारे बोनसेस डाल देंगे, या फिर वील ट्राई स्टैकिंग अप सो मेनी थिंग्स. दैट इज़ वन पर्सपेक्टिव हाउ यू कैन बेसिकली फक अप योर ऑफर. And another perspective in which you can mess up your offer is you can offer something which requires extreme amount of time. Extreme amount of time. Now, okay, let me just explain you this. वो कैसे क्या है? It's basically your offer shouldn't do these three things. Number one, your offer shouldn't have like vague services, या फिर vague services, vague add-ons, vague bonuses, nothing. Offer में ये सारी चीज़ें नहीं हो सकती. Why? Because this is basically distracting the potential lead from the main purpose. And if you know, you know, humans can only focus on one specific thing at one given time. And if you are technically like asking the client to focus on 10 different things, something like let's say something like you're telling the client the main service that we are going to offer you is building or getting you 10 to 30 appointments per month. And then you're telling them we'll also do SEO for you. And then you're telling them we'll also maintain your website for you. We are also going to manage your LinkedIn. We are also going to do personal branding for you. Boss, आपने उस क्लाइंट को इतना ज़्यादा ओवरवेल्म कर दिया इस पॉइंट पे कि वो अगर जो लेने भी वाला था सर्विस, his chances have also dropped by 45%. So that is why if you are offering, offer one service. Now this is a smart thing. Like, but there are people who might be thinking, Akash, but these are good add-ons. Like, client doesn't the client feel he doesn't like needs to go 100 different places to fetch these services? I'll tell you, a better approach that you can follow in this case is basically this. Let's say you have the main core service. The core service says that I am going to get you 30 to 60 new appointments for the clinic. I'm taking, for the purpose of this entire concept, explaining you, I'm going to take the example of dentist only. Okay? That is easy to understand and सबको आ जाएगा समझ में. So the core offering is 30 to 60 appointments per month I'll get you. Now, if you really want to add, if you really want to stack, then what you need to do is add something which basically promotes the main offer or which promotes the main service. Now, let's say we are also, after the appointment is done, we are going to take feedbacks and sell them or basically upsell those clients for you or upsell those patients or for the more expensive service. That is again, you staying close or in the close proximity of the main service, right? You haven't gone like to a completely new different tangent. आप उसी road पे हो, you are still serving the clients, like you are still getting the dentist, the new appointments and all. And now these are the small add-ons which is just basically refining the main offer. So you can offer them things like we'll help them, like जो भी आपके clients 30 to 60 new appointments that we are getting you, we would be upselling them also once they have taken the basic service. Then we'll also technically we will get them to your clinic, we'll make the calls, we'll send them, or we will even do email marketing for them for these appointments which show up on your at your clinic. Now these services are basically complementing the main service. This makes way more sense, way more sense. So you need to figure out, I have a fan on top of my head, so yeah, forgive me. So you need to understand this, that your offer cannot be having vague services. Cool? And then the second thing that you need to understand is basically, now this is a super important thing and people mess it up big time in this space, which is you feel that कि ये जो like let's say I am going to help the client get something like 100 new appointments every single month. Apart from that, I'm going to manage their website. Apart from them, I'm going to do referral based marketing for them and whatnot. So if you see, पहली चीज तो वो वे category में भी आ गया, and secondly, the more important, the more like vital thing is, it is time consuming. It is heavily time consuming. बॉस अपने को इतना ज्यादा टाइम अगर एक ही क्लाइंट को दे देंगे, when will we scale our agency? कब हम 10 क्लाइंट, 50 क्लाइंट, 100 क्लाइंट्स को सर्व करेंगे? When would that time come? So the goal is how you can, or your like big criteria is when designing the offer and the service, is to find a service which requires the bare minimum time and which is infinitely repeatable. That is very important. This is the point which people miss. हम ऐसी सर्विस बना देते हैं which is very tough to reiterate, which is like very tough to again and again do, right? Now there are agencies, and it is not something that people are not doing. People are doing, and they are printing, taking bags of money home. That is not the problem. But at this point, we want to do something which, or at least I believe, I want to do something which can be repeated X number of times without my involvement too much, right? Now, there are brands which are building marketing strategies for every brand. Now, that is something which requires tailor-made attention, or every strategy requires extreme time, extreme investment of market research and whatnot. So that is something again which I wouldn't want to do. Why? Because I want something जो I can multiply, or without me even it gets multiplied, right? So you want to find a service which can be done infinitely without you getting involved and in the bare minimum time invested possible. So something like, let's say, ads is something which you can do it for one client, two client, and after two clients you understand ki, okay, now I'm assuming that you have finalized your niche, that you have a specific offer, you have a specific niche, and in like under that ideal condition, your ads agency or like the service of ads is infinitely repeatable. Why? बिकॉज वंस यू अंडरस्टैंड कि मेरे मार्केट को, मेरे नीश को इस टाइप के कैंपेन्स चाहिए होते हैं, ज़्यादातर हम उनके लिए मजॉरिटी ऑफ द टाइम्स लीड जेन कैंपेन्स करते हैं जिनके लिए हमें ये चीज़ें चाहिए होती है, इस टाइप के एड क्रिएटिव्स चाहिए होते हैं, इस टाइप की एड कॉपीज चलती हैं. यू हैव क्रैक्ड द कोड, right? Now you can just repeat it for more and more same type of clients. So that is what I aim at doing, and that is what I would want you also to do, so that you can focus on much more important tasks at hand. And yeah, so with this we end the first step. If you are able to get this thing clear, if you are able to wrap these things around your head and come up with a right niche, with the right offer, then I'm telling you, my friend, you would be like 80% ready to make some real good money out there in the market. Because if you have a good offer and a good niche, you have basically cracked the whole code. You want me to explain you a very quick concept? It is, let's say, there is a niche of cancer patients, people who are suffering from cancer, and now you come up with an offer. The offer is, we have developed a tablet for cancer which is going to cure cancer in 80 days. This is the offer message that you have. Do you think that you need to go sell hard, or you need to do extreme amount of outbound or outreaching to even sell this? No. Why? The offer, the niche is so dialed in. The message is so on point. Even if you don't want, people would be standing at your door. That is like the case of an ideal offer. So try like again solving the biggest problem for your niche. If you can do that in a proper manner, and moreover, this is not a one-time thing, by the way. You are going to take time, and it is like a constant growing process. Every time you are refining your offers. So yeah, with this comes the second step, which is of building systems. Abhi, when you have started your agency gets first client, second client, third client. Post that third client or the second client, depending on your workload, you would see that you have now started having that burnout stage, or you are having that those burnouts very frequently. Now we don't want to go into that like rat hole. Why? अगर बार बार burnouts ही होते रहेंगे, and why do basically burnouts happen? When you need to do things again and again, and the task turns out to be monotonous. So that is when systems come into place. Because आप कब तक चीज़ें मैनुअली करते रहोगे अगर आपके पास, और if you want to scale your business to, let's say, 50 clients, you don't, or you can't even imagine doing things manually. You need to have systems in place. And now I don't want to overwhelm you with what all systems you can put in place, कौन से tools use कर सकते हो, ये वो. I'll just say two things. If you can sort these two things out, you are done. Or basically build these two systems. Number one is So number one is client acquisition system. And I'm telling you, आज भी मैंने अपनी एजेंसी में सिर्फ ये दो ही सिस्टम सेट करे हैं. उसके अलावा I'm still trying, I'm still implementing, testing out, experimenting various different things. But these two things have basically reduced my workload by, I guess, 75, 80%. Yes, 80% of my work is done, wrapped. मुझे नहीं करना अब. So, like the first system that has helped me is the client acquisition system. Now, for the like betterment of understanding, client acquisition system is what? The system which is going to help you get consistent clients. Because आप ही देखो कि अगर आपने एजेंसी बना ली, बट अगर कोई सिस्टम नहीं है कि क्लाइंट कैसे अपने आप आते रहें, the business, the money is always going to be a concern. It's always going to be a concern. कि यार अभी कहाँ से client लाएं? I am outreaching. I am reaching out to so many people, but client नहीं आ रहे. And that is the biggest caveat that any agency can have. I'm telling you. Client acquisition system is the first system that you need to put in place, like ASAP. And moreover, I'm planning to make more videos on client acquisition systems also down the line. So coming back, client acquisition systems आपको सबसे पहले अपनी एजेंसी में सेटअप करने पड़ेंगे as soon as you start scaling and you start growing post that one or two like first two clients. So client acquisition systems में now this word sounds fancy, but it's just जो भी आपके outreach methods हैं, जो भी आप लोग करते हो outreach, उसको एक systemized format में arrange करना है और कुछ नहीं. And you need to either automate or delegate वो process को. Now, let's say you are doing cold emailing. That is your main lead gen like strategy, or that is your main outbound process that you are currently using in your agency. Once post you have started your agency and आपको सबसे ज़्यादा clients cold emailing से मिल रहे हैं, and this is something that is performing best for you. So you would want a proper tool. Number one, tools like Instantly.ai and all to set up. You would want a person who is sitting to reply to those emails, let's say as soon as someone responds with a positive response within the first 4 to 5 minutes. And again, you need to now think from like your end, see the whole process और इस process के अंदर कौन कौन सी चीजें हैं, अगर वो fine tune हो गई, this entire process of cold emailing will become a cakewalk, and it can even function without you. What are those things? Let's say there are like another important aspect which I can currently think of in cold emailing is getting the data, getting the leads, scraped leads. So you can either have tools and make an intern sit full day he's scraping leads, he's finding leads, he's using AI tools and all to scrape leads and putting in the software for mass emails. And yeah, so something like that. And if you are using the loom method, you are shooting looms for every email, probably, I don't know if you are doing, and if you are doing, then you can or you can set a person who can start making looms, who can make looms for every brand. But moreover, I think there are now AI tools which can help you do that, so that is not the problem as of now. But again, coming back, at max have only 2 client acquisition systems built in. Either it could be cold DMs, LinkedIn outreaching. Cold DMs mein, like I was considering Instagram. So LinkedIn, Instagram, cold emails, cold calling, all these. Try having at least 2 outbound, and I would also recommend heavily one, at bare minimum one inbound. It could be you creating content, it could be you writing newsletters, and yeah, there are multiple different ways. You can do podcasts. So try having 2 outbound, 1 inbound system. Now, the next thing is the service delivery. You would thank me later if you can set up the service delivery end of the agency. And the best way to do is once you have started scaling ना, once you reach that point कि यहाँ पर मेरे पास दो से ज़्यादा clients हो गए हैं, I would recommend all those core aspects of your agency. Core aspects may, for example, someone who is like you can hire someone who is responsible for hiring new people if you need them very actively. That is a core responsibility now. Why? Let's say in case if your agency needs people very actively. Now I know in case of let's say short form content agencies, they need editors left, right, center. So they can appoint a HR. That is a core role. Let's say if you are looking out for or you are delivering the service of ads, you can have like permanent advertisers or ad experts in house. So the whole goal is if you are setting up systems for service delivery, I would recommend you try hiring full time employees to reduce the friction, to make the processes, to make the end results of the service delivery part like flawless. So, again, the thing is hire core roles. You need to figure out आपकी एजेंसी में कौन से रोल्स हैं जो कोर हैं, कौन से रोल्स हैं जो empirical है, you just cannot leave them. So like in case of let's say my agency, communication is the core role or is something which is so damn important. It helps me. I guess this is important for every other agency. The communication part where someone has to constantly communicate or keep the clients in loop. So because advertisers say we can't expect every day to go talk to clients, get on calls and all. So that is why we need a communication manager in place. So that is one important role for us. And you can have, again, depending on what kind of services you are providing, you can have fixed या फिर full time hired service delivery या फिर service partners based on what kind of services you are offering. Okay. Now, this wraps up the building systems part. Again, I don't want to, I can go too deep into this, क्या use करना चाहिए, कैसे use करना चाहिए, but that is just going to fuck up your mind, I know. And we always love to do things that are not important. Yes. You know why? Because we want to procrastinate, we want to run away from the actual work. Our brain tells us ये तो बहुत important चीज़ है, ये अभी नहीं करेंगे, ये बाद में करेंगे. And let me first make the website of the agency. Let me first instead of outreaching while you're starting your agency, I know so many people. I have my own agency launchpad students. They are focusing on like and I catch them red-handed that why the fuck are you focusing on your website at this moment? Website is just a landing page. उसको कुछ भी बना के it just has to get the job done. It just has to convey bits and pieces about you. That's all. Now focus on outreaching. Focus on lead generation. That is the game. So again, you should focus on the more important aspects. I can tell you tools. You can probably go out, take trials. You can start testing out tools. Again, that is something which looks fancy and everyone wants to do. But the ugly looking things, finding the niche, designing the offers, messages, and outreaching, these are the real core tasks which will make you shitload of money. Trust me. Now coming back to the third step that we have is basically more or less related to the second one, and I'll just give you my insight on this, which is removing yourself. Now, when I say removing yourself, this is more or less aligned with the concept or with the thought process of hiring. And when I say hiring, there are three core angles or two core angles that I look at. One is either it can be like automating things or it can be delegating things. Okay, so how you can remove yourself is basically through these 2 to 3 different things. Delegating, you can delegate tasks to full-time employees or to interns or to contractors or to like any sort of human thing that or a human workforce that you can delegate your task to, and then it is automating. When you feel this is too much of a monotonous repetitive task कि बार बार emails भेजनी है, that email software can do, that an email marketing tool can do. So you don't need to hire or delegate anyone. You probably need someone to respond to them, right? So that is important. And the whole core approach behind taking this third step is, I am considering the first step was you putting the basic building blocks of your agency, you setting up. The second step was you building out the systems that are needed for your agency, and that you would be doing obviously once you have first few clients. And third is, now when clients are coming, you have systems in place, client acquisition is automatically happening, service delivery is automatically happening. Now there aren't much things left for you to do. Now you have to focus, or this is what I generally do now in my agency. My job is now to have a 30,000 feet view of how things are operating. Now, I work on things like how my team's managers are performing, how my conversion rates are going, how my demo conversion rates are, how we can improve them, or these things which I feel are just, or the things which can just improve the overall performance. That is where I work now. And I could only do such things now by removing myself from the basic manual task. If I would have been outreaching abhi bhi, if I would have been talking to contractors abhi bhi full day, forget it. I can think about मैं डेमो में इस स्लाइड को कैसे चेंज कर सकता हूँ. Those are two nitty gritty things, या फिर those are things that you can only think when you have less things or less chaos around you. The whole goal for the third step is to cut noise, because now money is coming to you. Now you have a consistent flow of income per month happening. And basically, if you ask me, you know what? The first two steps will help you reach the first five, seven, $8,000. And this removing yourself is going to fine tune that $8,000, $9,000 to help you cross or reach that $10,000 mark. That is when I started doing that. Or that is when we started making $10,000, when I removed myself completely out of the manual processes or of the things which just didn't require my effort or energy. My time got a bit more valuable for those tasks. So that is why when I stopped doing. Earlier I was cold calling while sitting in my office, like when I used to do job. But now that is the whole concept of this key. You need to remove yourself. So aim at how you can like build systems, how you can set everything up. But again, there is a warning. Don't aim at removing yourself the fastest way possible. ये बहुत लोग चीज़ समझाते हैं कि try to remove yourself as quick as possible. If you are in that rut race, you are just going to build weak systems. You are going to have poor teams in place. You are going to have basically a poor overall like working environment. That ecosystem is full of shit. It can any day collapse if you haven't focused on building that. It took me near about 1.5 to 2 years approximately to remove myself and do now stuff which again is from a 30,000 feet viewpoint. So with this, I hope you got a clear idea that how you can like start, grow, reach that first $10,000 per month mark, and moreover consistently do that. And now I'm telling you something. Now this is something which is going to help you cross that $10,000 mark also. The fourth step that I'm going to tell you. But I can assure you one thing. The first three steps, if you do them consistently, and if those three steps are dialed in properly, your $10,000 is a cakewalk. Trust me. I used to feel this way कि oh my god, $10,000 भाई मतलब इंडिया में हो गए ये 8 लाख रुपए like 8 साढ़े 8 लाख रुपए हो गए. So is it something that people even reach or do? And now I I think this is something which is so easy to achieve, so easy to do that everyone possibly should be doing it. And I am now I've reached such a stage that I now assume people that $10,000 तो कर ही लोगे. But again, I'm not saying कि this is going to be like at the blink of an eye. It is definitely going to need some work, but it is possible. That is my whole concept of telling you this. कि हो सकता है, and you are like 110% capable of doing it. So yeah, and once you reach the fourth stage that you would be entering is basically scaling out. Now, scaling out may, okay, you remember the DFY model which I told you in the service side, the done for you model? Now, done for you model is something that you use when you have started the agency. It is very new. You have 4 or 5 clients up till a point of 10, 20 clients also. Done for you is something which can easily thrive your agency. But post that, you will again see, even after removing yourself, you will see that boredom coming in. You will see that lack of interest showing up in you. So this is where like I feel agencies or agency owners rather should shift their models. Like these are the series of models which agency owners should be following, which is the first thing was done for you. The second stage that you enter, like post, okay, what you can do is for the first 5-10 clients, or if you feel you want to change the model early, after 4 or 5 clients, you can shift to done with you model. Now, done with you, okay, I'll tell you, just take. Okay. Done with you model is something that you tell the client or you deploy the client with some work and you do some work. So it is you both doing some or the other work. So it's something like, let's say, done with you model का example हो जाएगा. If you're running ads, your performance marketing agency, ads चलाते हो आप लोग, and you tell the clients, you give us the ad copies, you give us the creatives, you shoot, and you give us everything, and we will just run ads, we'll get you good ROAS. That is all. Now this is something done with you. You are doing the work or you have distributed the work amongst you and the client. So you can do this once you have confidence in done for you. If you don't have, then done with you is something you would not be confident in pitching also. So don't try this unless and until you have 1 or 2 clients. And once you are good with this, you are getting clients when even with the done with you model and clients are happy with the results and all, then it is time that you as an agency owner would be shifting to one-on-one consultation calls. Now, obviously, until when you would be doing things, right? Now you don't want to do things. So the whole hierarchy or the whole curve of you growing as a businessman is as in when you keep on growing, the amount of work that you do keeps on reducing. The work keeps on reducing, but the impact of the work keeps on increasing. So that is how like the work balance comes in. So the third stage basically that you crack in once you're done with you is doing wonderfully well. There's one-on-one consultation. Now let's say you start charging based on your per hour consultation. You are not doing any work. It is basically DIY. Do it yourself. You're just telling the client कि भाई ऐसे ऐसे ads बनाओ आप ये campaigns चलाओ, आप ये strategy use करो, आप इस type के Google ads चलाओ, आप इस तरीके से leads generate करो, and clients are happy to take that. You can only do such you can only execute this type of model when you have very good social proof, number one. So by social proof I mean in your niche. I don't mean content बनाकर या बड़ा personal brand बना के. That is also something good that you can do. So you need to have a good proof of concept. You need to have a good result bank with you, that you have done it for so many clients and now you are consulting people, and people would be very happy to pay you even $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 per hour. I know people who are charging like $11,000, up till $11,000, $12,000 per hour for their consultation. Yeah, so it depends on, again, what kind of expertise you bring to the table, and again, what kind of market we are looking at. So now after that, once you like grow good in this space, the next level would be for you is group coaching. Yes. Like, tell me a thing, real quick, fact check over here. Haven't you seen so many agency gurus, so many agency people starting their own online programs, online classes, courses, and all these things? You like, why is this all happening? We like, or as I can see, these young agency gurus are fetching the like idea, or they are fetching the inspiration from high level people who have done and dusted the whole game, and then they have launched a product, then they have launched a program or a course. So once you do this, once you get good at this, once this is selling or this is getting results for people, then is the time that you feel okay, consulting a one single person on an hour call is probably not so profitable for me. I want more money. As I told you, your work keeps on like reducing, or if you see it didn't reduce exactly over here, you're still teaching people, but the impact got like 10x more. Now it's a group coaching. Now it's a group class. You have, let's say, if you're running ads for, let's say, or you are generating leads for doctors, right? You're doing lead gen for dentist. Now, instead of when you initially started, you were just generating leads, doing it like completely for the dentist, do it for you. Then you shifted to like DWI, which is done with you. You gave dentists some work. Ki, bhai, you get us the creatives and all, we'll run that. And then you started consulting those dentists like one on one. And then you realized I can have a bigger impact. Now you started doing a group coaching for at a time 20 to 50 different dentists sitting together on a Zoom call, and you giving them the strategy at once. Your income got 10x'd, your impact got 10x'd, but your work same. And then is lastly the online program. When you feel that okay, I cannot, like, there are too many people who are willing to learn from me, then like group coaching also won't make sense, because there are thousands of people sitting around. मैं किन किन को जाके कितनी बार Zoom class करूँगा? Then you shift to online program. Then you make a one set of videos, modules, which people can at any given time, at any given hour of the day, they can just pick that course, pick that program up, watch at their own ease, implement, and get results. As simple as that. So this is the fourth step. Like this scaling, this is the scaling model that any agency owner would be or should be doing. And with this, I come to the end. And if you happen to like start your agency, or if you're looking to start your agency, I do give lots of content. I do make lots of content around the space of agency, and we do have some products here and there down in, and you can check them down in the description below. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Have a great day.